Shock. Leftist Cenk Uygur admits Democrat Party is oppressive, calls Kamala a talking robot. Now, this is hilarious, man. Watching Anna Kasparian freak out over this. I did a whole separate video on that, but I found the extended clip of their conversation where Jink says the Democrat Party is oppressive. It is wild watching their transformation. They're being red pilled, especially Anna, because she's a little bit more vocal about it. Jink are still it's slowly starting to come around. But I'm gonna play this extended clip of it. We can watch the whole thing. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so into let's get to this clip. Here we go.
By the way, there's one thing I disagree here. I think Kamala Harris will probably win in a cakewalk for governor.
No.
Okay.
No, we've seen this one. I did a separate video on this part, the 1 minute part here where Anna freaks out. This is hilarious. No, here we go.
No, what are you doing? What are you doing?
No, I'm
She
telling you the
means
reality, whether you like it or not.
What are you doing?
Democratic voters in California love to obey. And so,
oh my God, I'm gonna move, Cenk. I'm gonna quit my job. I'm gonna quit my job and I'm gonna move.
I'm not saying I'm in favor of it. I'm telling you what's like if the Democratic Party said we anoint Kamala Harris, a giant percentage of Democrats in California would go, yes, we obey. We will take the loyalty oath. It doesn't matter how bad she is.
This state cannot survive another incompetent Democrat leading it.
Leading it. Democrat like Kamala.
No, we just can't. Okay, like anyway, so like people are egging her on. Okay, apparently she's like in a wait and see mode. How about you wait and see like your way out of public life and go do what you're supposed to do. Go work in the private sector, go do the lobbying thing, whatever it is, but do not run as governor of California. Yeah. Do not.
So look, here's the thing that they still won't say that is definitely true, which is that she was a disaster. She was a terrible candidate, but it's still to this day with all their little, oh, golly gee, I wish somebody would have told us, right? But they're not saying the core thing, which is she was a talking robot and she could not answer normal questions like a human being. She had
facts. That's all true, and they still continue to push her and pretend like she's not. Though we all see she couldn't. She does not seem human. She seems so inauthentic, but they continue to try to sell us this fake woman.
Had her scripts ready, and she would just take the script, her talking points, and match it to any question that you asked her.
Right. I will not deviate from program. That was her.
It was Sarah Palin-esque. Yes, I said it, and yes, she definitely deserved it. And no, we should want no part of her for any campaign at all, okay? And I don't know what coconut pilled means. That's a thing that people made up that doesn't even make any goddamn sense. Okay, and finally on Linda Lee, the person say, so look, she's more conservative than I am, way more, and she's more from the donor class, etc. But at the same time, we don't have to drive everybody out of the party, right? So she has a different opinion on immigration, so what, right? And it turns out that was the majority opinion in America, even though portions of it that I might not agree with. But I brought her up because she said a word that a lot of people are feeling. She said, I feel liberated. And that's because the establishment in the Democratic Party is so oppressive that if you disagree 1% in either direction or any direction, they'll take your head off.
Facts. You cannot deviate. I mean, look how fast and how hard that Roland Martin came for Stephen A. Smith after Stephen A. Smith started talking about how he felt about the Democrat Party, how he'd been bamboozled, and about the J6 and all those things. And look how quick they came for him. Like, you can't deviate, not even for one thing. You have to stick to the party line or they will come for you. That is facts.
And then after the election, pretending as if they're open-minded, is just garbage. The next time they'll do the same exact thing and they'll demand your obedience and compliance with probably the very worst candidate.
She is sickened.
Please don't run for California. Please, I'm begging you. Like, the Washington Post reports that as soon as she lost to Trump on November 5th, some Harris supporters seized on the idea of a gubernatorial run, including wealthy donors. God, these wealthy donors are going to be the death of me. Eager to see her take a leadership role in such a powerful post. Quote,
what leadership? She showed no leadership when she ran for president.
Leadership.
Here's my positions on price gouging. Never mind. Mark Cuban and the donors say that I shouldn't have those positions, so I don't have those positions. Oh, I love the Palestinians, but I'm going to crush them.
Let me please finish this graphic, because of course it's always the same people. The people that drove the conversation within 18 minutes of the election being called was the finance team.
Of course.
She took $1 billion that was donated to her.
1.5.
And not only spent it on nonsense in the span of 3 months, her campaign went into debt.
How does that happen?
You want her running the budget in California? This is
nuts.
I
want to see it.
This is nuts. Okay.
I want the content.
Well, look, guys, there's two things. One, unfortunately, the Democratic leadership has gotten so used to being authoritarian that they think, well, of course, the dear leaders must always be promoted. And they should be around forever and ever until they're all 98 years old and we're wheeling them around, okay?
Yep.
So they can't stand the idea of someone new rising up and someone that would actually represent the voters. But that leads to point number two. Why stick with Kamala Harris when she was a broken robot? Why don't you go get a new and improved robot like Pete Buttigieg's corporate robot 2.0, right? And that's what they'll do at the presidential level. But why bother running her for governor? Because the finance team represents the donors, and the donors don't want someone smart and independent. They want.
I hope they run Pete Buttigieg, because you can see the pictures of him breastfeeding his child. Please run for president in 2028, Buttigieg. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. Please do it.
Someone just like Kamala Harris, so that they could say, oh, you're an empty vessel and you'll say anything we want? Okay, yeah, perfect, come here. We wanna run California, so come on, empty vessel, let's go. And besides which, we've trained Democratic voters to obey the donor class. So if we just tell them that you're the anointed one, they will all obey. And if anyone dares running against you, we'll just smear the hell out of them. Like, oh, Katie Porter, you want to run? We'll just smear you, right?
Yeah.
Any progressive or any populist or anyone wants to run, we'll just smear them with all the money that we have. And by the way, and the media that we have, who's totally in our back pocket.
Yeah, Katie Porter would be great. Great suggestion, even though you didn't really suggest it. But like, look, I'm sorry. Right now, the Golden State is cooked. So like the idea of more of the same, and I do see Kamala Harris as more of the same. Like she's just the female version of Gavin Newsom. Disaster. Except Gavin Newsom at least can speak.
He can
right?
sell
That's
it.
the thing. Like he's a snake and is able to be a snake because he carries himself well in these public appearances. But in terms of substance, no, we need real leadership in California. It's falling apart. I'm sorry. Anyway.
Yeah, of course. And they're not going to do that. They're always going to go to the corrupt. And if you don't get that Kamala Harris is corrupt and incompetent by now, I mean, we're just going to have those same old fights. And then we'll see you guys in the primary in 2028. And you'll have Morning Joe and The View on your side. And they'll all be screaming to obey. And we'll see who wins. We'll see who wins. But there's no way we're letting Kamala Harris run again. That's insane. Oh, she can run all she wants. She's not going to win, okay? You'd have to have a coconut fall on your head for you to think that that was a smart idea.
That was hilarious. I never agreed with the Young Turks as much as I did in that segment. That was wild. But everything, mostly everything they were saying, I agree with. And watching Anna freak out like that was hilarious. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.